I'm still dancing. I love my intro music. How you doing, Lily?
I'm doing good, John. How are you?
I am great. As you can see, the holidays upon us. I'm looking forward to this. As far as I'm concerned, once Thanksgiving gets here, investors start to feel better, like everybody across the country. The holidays, family time, getting together, it's
That's
going to
true.
make us feel a little bit better. And maybe there's a wee bit of hope we only get a half a point rise this month instead of three quarters.
And maybe everybody get the warm and fuzzies, John. Let's see.
All right. We have got a list already here of stocks that people want to look at, and that's good. We like that.
That's
So I'm
perfect.
going to throw up some news right now. We're only going to go through this once, folks. So if you miss it the first time, don't worry about it. This is being recorded. You can come back later and watch it. So this hasn't been a great week for the OTC market. She's been pretty flat, not a whole lot of activity across the board. She's been very down on share volume, dollar volume, trades. Same old, same old. But you've always got something somewhere popping out there. And it has been a weird week, but we've had some runners. And a lot of them are running on bad news, being brought down from the NASDAQ, going bankrupt.
Oh boy.
I just keep seeing it over and over again. And in case you're missing it, folks, over at Discord, I am listing every reverse split I can find. So you're on top of low floats. Forward splits, which I covered one last night. They're thinking of giving 900 shares for every share you have of their company. Woohoo! That would be nice. And they're making money. So it's not like a junk company. Let me see. And there's been a lot of surprises in drops, bad drops. A lot of stocks that should be climbing are dropping. Right there, folks, this is where I'm talking about. Come join us over here at Pennyboy IS Wizard. It'll be an invite from me. Just click yes. We don't need a credit card. We don't need to know your firstborn's name. Just come on in. No passwords. Just come on in and we'll talk to you. We'd love
Just
to have
need the company. That's all.
you. Right.
We enjoy it. So, just to get started, John, before we get into everything, I know we got a lot of tickers out there. Appreciate you guys. But Mr. Larry Tate asked me last week to go over AABB. I'm going to do that real quick before we get into everything else. So, y'all bear with me. I will share my screen and I'm going to try to talk as I'm sharing my screen.
And I'll pull up some background information here.
Yeah, that'll be perfect.
We can talk whatever about it is. Where
so
are you going first? The charts or the...
I'm going to go ahead and pull up the chart.
Okay.
And I'll go over what information I have collected. And we will also get to, the financials and stuff like that. John, if you help me out with that, that'd be perfect.
Absolutely. Looking at them now.
All right. Let me see.
So we got 1.8 billion in the float. So when you're looking at the chart, she's pushing a lot of shares with that volume.
Yes. Okay, so 1.8 billion in the float. That's not terrible, but it's high. But we're talking about an OTC ticker here, you guys. All right, so Asia Broadband, they are incorporated in the state of Nevada with Asian Broadband Incorporated, I think. And they're a mining company, you guys. So they were founded in 1996. They're a resource company that's focused on the production and supply of your sale of precious, base metals and precious metals. And they're primarily, for the Asian markets. However, they've done some acquisitions and stuff like that. They have some mining going down in Mexico. And what they're doing, and they're the first one to do this, actually. They are, and I don't know if there's any others. I haven't seen others. Maybe there is. But they are doing a crypto token, which is AABBG. And that token is backed by gold. So just knowing that would tell you that the price is probably going to follow gold. Or if gold starts doing really well, companies like this could pick up substantially because of that. So, and you would think in these times that gold would be doing a little bit better than it is with high inflation. That's usually how it is. But we were all on a big bull run in the past, year and a half or so before. So that has to be in consideration when you're watching gold and everything else, and where's it going to bounce and what's the low, stuff like that. So they do have a subsidiary, the Asian Metals Incorporated. They've been acquired and they're established mining camps in Mexico. 2021, they created the gold-backed crypto token. And so what they also did a wallet, and they have a cryptocurrency exchange. I'm not familiar with those. I don't do crypto very much. But I do like this company and the potential that it has for an OTC ticker, for the potential
Boy,
that it has.
She's stuck in a downtrend, ain't she?
Absolutely. And we're going to go over that real quick. I'm going to
Yeah.
discuss that chart in just a second. So, John and I were looking at some of the, the assets and revenues, and we do like the fact that they have less than 1 million in liabilities. That's a really good thing.
And 110 in assets, 110 million.
Yeah. And so that's pretty good. And 2020 was a really good year for them. I'm not sure what the difference was or if it was the acquisitions they've made.
Yeah, 2020, they did an excess of $22 million in revenue. And this last year, they only did a little over 2 million. So there was some serious changes there. Could have been due to acquisitions, change of direction. I'm not sure. I haven't kept up with all the intricacies.
Yeah.
But you can definitely see a drop in revenues.
Exactly. And I did notice that. And that's a concern for caution. So more digging needs to be done. Are we ready to go long on this? I can't really say that just yet. But AABBG is backed by the physical gold assets valued at around 30 million. So that's not too bad. And of course, they're doing more acquisitions, more mining, and I think they're trying to double that by 2024, you guys. So that's something good to know. Their CEO, which is Chris Torres, has purchased 2.4 million of total preferred shares for himself. And that's good because you have a CEO and you have management that's believing in their company and what they're doing. So you might want to dig more into Chris Torres. You might want to look at his interviews, stuff like that, and the future projections that he maybe have out there for Asia Broadband. So those are good places to start. And it's very interesting. Like I said, they're the first hybrid that's out there. They had the physical mining, and they're actually doing the digital mining for the tokens and stuff. So it's all backed up by the gold. That is pretty different. And that's one of the reasons why I liked AABB or AABB. Yeah, I did play this stock.
Double B.
Yeah, a couple years ago, whenever let's go back to the 3 year, you guys. So back here in this right here, right before it started taking off, the 0013 areas where we were sitting at, just kind of going sideways, and then boom, it went up to 65 cents, you guys. I was in this play. I sold, and then I bought back in, and I sold again at this area. I can't remember where it was, but I know I sold. I have not re-entered the position yet, but I like this company. So, and I have been looking at it more recently. So we go to our 180-day. You can see it's clear as day. We'll take you to the year real quick. It's in a downtrend. We had this last pop off. This was around December of last year, and total downtrend since then. And so far, I haven't been happy that it hasn't held anywhere. I was expecting it to hold the 6 cents area. That's where I was kind of looking to get back in. And when it didn't, I'm just being patient. That's exactly what I'm doing right now. I'm not going to rush it. Here recently, we had a low right here. And I see we made a newer low. So that's kind of another thing I was waiting on. I wanted to see if this low, because when I checked it yesterday, I'm pretty sure it was this one, which was around 0.0311. I wanted to see if it would hold. And it doesn't look like it did. So we've got to the 5-day, 5-minute. Yeah, we made a newer low right here today. Yeah. So I'm not in a hurry on this one. Do I think it's a good area to grab some if you want to go and add to your position, like build a swing into it? Yeah, I think it's an okay area to be in. Really, it doesn't seem to be related to the NASDAQ and how those stocks work. Like SPY today was in an uptrend. We're actually outside of the downtrend range right now for the SPY. It's doing really well. Your VIX, which is your overall volatility and fear in the market, is down to like 20 something right now, which is another good thing for swings. But a lot of time that doesn't apply to the OTC. And as you can see here,
like I said, the whole entire OTC has been disappointing. There's a lot of stocks that should be climbing and they're not. And people are asking me, what's wrong with it? And every week I tell you, nothing. It's not about the company. It's about
Is it broken, John? No, it's not.
Broken.
There's a lot to do with the volume and stuff like that, and where's the money at right now? So
yeah, I'd wait on this one, maybe a starter position because it is very, very low. That's a 52-week low, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Yeah, now there's
And
a lot of 52-week lows in that chart right there. There's quite a lot of them.
there is, but if we back it back out to the 6 month, our last low was
Month ago.
yep, October the 10th. So
Yeah.
around that time. So I'm not too sure just yet. I'm willing to give this a few days.
The company's got backbone. Obviously, they're doing something, but they're in this downtrend. You don't want to put a whole lot into it. If you're into it, it's a good opportunity to average down some because we're not sure when it's going to bounce. It definitely looks like it's continuing downhill, so I wouldn't get too crazy with it.
You're right. And we need more proof of concept here. We need to see it start hitting that low, maybe revisiting the low, but not making a newer low. So give it some time, have some patience. I think you'll have plenty of chances to grab some positions in this area if we see it's going to hold up and to maybe start swinging this one. So I don't hate this company. I do like it. And the thing is, whenever the season of OTC comes back, more than likely this is going to be a contender. Another thing is whenever crypto is doing really well, this one could very likely be a contender. And also, they have went into the NFT space. I don't know a lot about the NFTs because I'm not familiar with crypto. I'm not familiar with NFT.
All right, we're going to have to cut this. We're at 10 minutes for one stop.
Okay, I stopped it.
Not that big of a deal.
It's not.
We've answered that question. She's going downhill. She's got a solid backbone. She's got good business, but it isn't her day yet. She's going to need some catalyst, and when she's deep. So when
I keep an eye on it.
She's got a lot of ceiling to be grabbing there.
Yeah, keep an eye on that one.
I've got a couple stocks here that we had an early contender give me over on Twitter. Hey, you can tell me anywhere I'm at, and I'm listening. I'm going to jump back into my share screen here, and I've got two tickers here that I believe it's Stuart Wood, Mountain Man as he likes to be called. He wants to look at stocks we have looked at before quite a while ago. One is SMME, Smart Metric Inc. This is a biometric card that uses your fingerprint to activate it. Now, it's got two processors in it, one that locks your fingerprint that can never be changed and nobody else will ever be able to use your credit card. Then they've got a second processor, which processes your payment. So if somebody hacks one, it's not good enough. They got to hack both. Now, they're working with a lot of credit card companies right now around the world, including a couple of major ones who are experimenting with this. And it could be big. I mean, there are more credit cards out there than people. That's how big the market is. Now, the only thing I find strange here is they tell us it is an internal rechargeable miniature hybrid battery. So does that mean I got to recharge my credit card to use it? What if it's not charged when I need it? This could be a problem, but I don't know the answer to that. It's just one of those questions that comes to my mind. Let's take a quick look here at our share structure. It's $1 billion, folks. I'm not going to trust that 257. I mean, it could be lower, but I'm going to guess that it is that 1 billion. Financials, I don't think they're making any money yet. I think they're right on the cusp of it right now. So they are a shell company, even though it doesn't say shell up here, maybe shell risk. Probably shell risk. Disclosures, anything we should be aware of? Well, yeah, they just came out with a financial today, 2 days ago. So if you're really interested in the company, dive into that. Don't let the accounting scare you. There's a lot of verbatim you can read in there, and they put bold headlines over each section, so it's easy to find what you're looking for. Let's go take a look at that chart for SMME. Let's get rid of everything else here I was doing. There we go, SSME. You guys see everything okay, right?
Yeah, we got it, John.
All right. All right, I'm going to pull this back 1 year. Always like to see where we've started. Had a huge run back here in February of this year. I'm not too sure exactly what this was. Maybe this was the announcement of their fingerprint into the card, but she definitely took a huge bounce off of this. Went from, looks to be about 0.008, wow, up to 4.5 cents. You're talking 500% jump right there. She came all the way back down. Now, as a matter of fact, I see I have got a line here. Let's see where this comes from. All right, I grabbed a strong support here going all the way back over a year ago, a year and a half. You can see where it's sitting. Let's come on in a little bit closer so you can make sense of that. That's a 20-day. Now, there is that trend line at the top of our price. And we've got another one, another support right there. Here recently, she's just kind of been stuck. And I mean, she's sitting on that right now. She's just been there for quite a while and she isn't moving a lot. Our technicals show, I mean, if you look at our PPO and our ADX, put your PPO on the top, percentage price oscillator, and your ADX trend continuation together like this. Whenever you see the blue and the red separating, it's guaranteed to be growing. So we've got some growth going on here. It's just not real strong, but all the technicals are in agreement. All the technicals are pushing up.
Looking at this chart, John, just back out real quick. Go back to the year real quick.
Go back to our year.
Just go back to the year. This is very interesting chart to me. I mean, you can see how flat it is right now. It's just so nothing. And you can see that amazing run it had. Look at the volume. Look at the difference in volume. That is very confusing to me. So it almost seems like this chart is being played with. So obviously, we have shares being traded. There is volume, especially here recently in past, 3 or 4 months right there. Shares are being traded. It seems like this one's being held down. I mean, think about it.
I have seen that before. If somebody wants to talk about PB, PMF.
Go for it. I just wanted to point that out.
That's a problem with that company. It's not the company's fault. It's the brokers. You got to remember, folks, the OTC market is different than your major exchanges in one very important way that we don't notice, but is happening all the time. On the major markets, high bid wins. Whoever puts up the highest price gets it. That's all there is to it. It seems right. On the OTC market, it's negotiated. If you want to pay 30 cents, they are looking for someone who wants to buy at 30 cents. You sell at 30, they buy and they meet it. But that doesn't mean the price is going to go up. It doesn't guarantee the price is going to go up. And that stinks because every broker for every company gets to make up their own mind how they want to play that game. And the spread, that's where they get their profit, that spread in there. So it does become a little bit irritating. So you can see we are sitting on that support right now. She got off of it, came right back to it, sat under it, back on top of it. So right now she is streamlining across the board. We're on her 5-minute right now, and it does show she's trying to grow, but it has got to actually break. Well, it's got to get above that. For Pete's sake, it hasn't done that in a while, and then it's going to have to get above that.
Yeah, it needs to hold that and consolidate in that area.
The only good thing we can say right now is she's hanging on to her 200. She's not barreling down underneath it. She's sitting right on top of her 200, basically consolidating, buying time until she decides what to do. Now, they have got a lot going on. All it's going to take is one news press saying Visa is going to take our card or Discover is going to take our card. Somebody, and boom, it's going to be a big name that's going to have this thing launched. So SMME, I think, is viable. I've done a lot of reading on it. Sounds like a product we could all put to good use. They're losing $30 billion a year in fraudulent sales because people who don't own that credit card are using that credit card. This should solve that problem. Another one of the stocks. You got anything to say about that, Lily?
No, I just think it's very interesting. I actually like that, and you make a good point with them losing the sales. If they can make that stop, I mean, and if they are the only ones, maybe that's proprietary technology with them. That's huge. So
I do believe there is another company out there that's got a biometric credit card. I can't remember. Okay. I think it begins with an S as well. And I thought that was the company we were going to look at. But each one will have their own technology. Each one will have their patent, you know.
But that's huge.
All right. Another one we're going to take a look at from Mr. Mountain Man is Boxes, BOXS, Box Score Brands. Now, they are no longer that name, though they are that ticker. This is now American Battery Technology Group. This company just had news come out today that they have been selected by our Department of Energy, and they've gotten $10 million grant for taking lithium-ion batteries and recycling them, taking care of them like that. But that is not all they have gotten. A little while ago, they got $57 million from the Department of Energy.
Nice.
Then I went diving a little deeper, and I see back in 2021, they got $4.5 million. So the Department of Energy has been pouring money into this company because it's stateside, and we're going to have a lot of batteries to recycle. There's going to be a ton of them. If we don't do something fast and get this rolling now, it's going to end up being like our tires. We're going to have piles of these things everywhere and not know what the heck to do with them. So this company's getting a ton of money backing support from our U.S. government. That's what's going on with this. And they're in that sector that is exploding right now. And you know this business is going to be needed once we start killing the batteries in these electric vehicles. Let's see if we can get some more information about this company at the OTC. Share structure, just a little over, well, a lot over a quarter billion, 360 million shares. Financials, they're not making any money, but the government's giving them money. So I wouldn't think that a bad thing that they're not making any money. I think somebody has faith in them. Oh, we got another financial report. A 10Q quarterly just came out. This came out 2 days ago as well. So if you really want to know, there's a lot of information. Every deal they've ever made, every single activity since this company's been on the market, before they were American Battery and were boxes, it'll all be in there, folks. So don't spend your time running around the internet looking for every article you can find. Just dive into the financial. It's the easiest way to do it. All right, let's take a look at boxes over here. Boxes. Let's jump out a year. Let's get ourselves a good panoramic view. Well, she was doing a lot of bouncing around that 200-day. I mean, really, some big bounces down, big bounces low, and then holy cow.
Yeah, I don't know what that was.
That dropped from 2 cents to 0.001. That is a 2,000% drop right there.
Ouch.
Boom. That is, and I'm not real sure. I didn't have a lot of time to go around digging into this, but something happened here. I don't see a financial or anything down here. I honestly don't know what's going on. What I do know is that the company is primed now for an entry. She hasn't been this low in quite a while. This is a year chart. So there's your yearly low. And I'm telling you right there's a yearly low too. We're still at a 52-week low. And that is a 2,000% gain. Getting up to here, just getting back to our 200, will get you about 120%. So there's lots of room to grow here. Our technicals don't look like they're recovering on the yearly chart right now, though. It doesn't look like she's ready to come up at all. Let's look at our 6 month. Same thing there. She's showing a lot of down pressure right now. All of our technicals are pointing the wrong direction, which is kind of sad, but it's not, because if you really believe this company has a place in the market in the future, if you think the DOE knows what they're doing by giving this company all their money, this is an opportunity. You can see where she was before all this stuff was happening. So I would think this would be a good place to consider this company. Let's take a look at our 20-day 1 hour view. Okay, no more rolling. She has gone flat. This is right after our drop. Right here is where our drop happened. And look, that recovery, she fell to 0.001 and bounced right back up here to almost 0.005. That was a 500% jump, just getting back up to here, folks. Remember that.
Yeah.
You see a severe drop like this, and it hits a low that is just so ridiculous. I'm not saying try to get rich on it, but it wouldn't hurt to throw a little bit on top of it, because look at just coming back to where she was, because this was an irregular drop, not only before, but going down as deep as she went. So a $20 bill here could have made you $100. $100 could have made $500.
And so that's the thing, that you're looking at an hourly, like there's an hourly candles.
Yep.
So that happened in an hour. Because
Right.
that wick and that candle was formed in an hour. So those moves are quick, but if you get them, perfect.
So there's your 5-minute view right now. You can see she was consolidating strong up here. When she finally made a decision, she fell. But look at all of your SMAs. Our 20-day SMA crossed 50. That's a negative sign, folks. If you see a smaller SMA come down over a bigger SMA, you've got problems. And she was underneath the 9-day. Your price can't climb until it gets on top of the 9-day. So we had a nice roll there. And then we got another big drop here down to 0.004, and we're just floating over that right now at 0.043. Technicals still look like she's falling, folks. But again, this is an opportunity. I'm not saying jump in just because it's low. You want to jump in after you know she's starting to climb, not just because she's low. You want to get into a habit of looking for confirmation. Wait till she gets on top of the 9 and has a couple bars up there. Yeah, you do lose a little bit. No denying that. But what you're buying is security, insurance. That's risk insurance. If you buy it down here, you like right here, that's a low price, but you didn't know if it was going to go lower or higher. Wait until you have more information. Don't just throw your money at it because it looks good. Wait till it looks ripe. Then you want to pick it. All right, so that's what I think about boxes. I like boxes. I don't think it's a bad investment. I just think you want to wait until she hits the floor. But she is low right now. There's no bloody denying that.
Okay, we have a comment from Chris John that's asking us to take a look at NWO, thinking it could be a great buyout candidate.
NWO.
I'm familiar with that ticker. I think is that a NASDAQ ticker?
Let's see.
Is it OTC?
They're not telling me over here.
It is.
OTC.
I see it. It's
right
OTC.
there, OTC.
I know that ticker. Go ahead.
Let's jump back a year. Maybe you know it because of that. See here, that's
probably
one of those irregular drops, folks. You see it drop that far, you got to look at it and say, well, even if I throw a $20 bill on that and it goes up to here, well, goodness, oh my God, what? Yeah, so that's 100% jump right there, just getting back to normal. So we did have a huge jump back here in where are we at? May.
That's got to be what it was.
Flew from about 70 cents up to just under 300% gains at $2.05. But look how fast she fell. Came right back to where she was. All of it gone. And she's been sitting down here and has now broke the 200 again. She doesn't do it often. And when she does it with a lot of thrust. We've got a good thrust going here right now. And I'm going to have to look to see. Let's see what date this is here so we can correlate this to filing or a piece of news. That is the 14th. We see our volume is coming in here. Technicals, they show it was strong, but they also show it's pulling back right now. But that is on the long chart. Let's take a quick look at our 6. I'm not quite sure what this is in there for. That doesn't be sitting.
Probably looked at it before for some reason.
It just doesn't look to be sitting in the right place, does it?
You might have been playing it currently or something. Who knows?
So she has right now on the 1 hour, she is above the 200. She's been under that for months. I mean, gee whiz, 4 or 5 months here. Screeched across it here and jumped. She got a big bounce out of it. And right now it looks like she's sitting just around her 20-day SMA. Technicals are not looking good on our 4 hour. Quick glance at our 1 hour. Ooh,
look at that volume. My gosh.
Yeah, the volume is, you can see she started off here at virtually nothing, started getting some heat, and now she's getting some big bounces. She had a nice run here. She ran from about 71 cents to $1.27, about 80%. She's come down. She's floating, hovering up over her 200-day SMA. Don't really see a support here. I probably have to go back to see that. Looks like our finally our oscillators, our tools down here are about ready to do some recovery. This is, it doesn't look great that way. You can see she's curving. Hopefully she's going to curve up. We've got a crossover right there on our MACD. RSI is pathetic right now, down at 36. Let's come on down to our OTC market here and see if we can correlate something to that jump on the 14th. Jump over that news right off the bat. There's the 17th and there's August. So no,
more than likely somebody knew something before the news came out.
Well, that is some bloody good news right there.
They knew.
I'm not much into biotechs because they take a long time to pop because their phase trials take forever. Phase 1 can take 2 years. Phase 2 can take, sorry about that. Phase 2 can take up to 3 years, and phase 3 can go from 4 to 7 years. So you're talking 10 years for a drug to get through the whole bloody cycle. That's a long time to wait. And you'll get bounces on news, but it normally comes back down. So unless they're right on the cusp of that 3rd phase being done, I'm really not interested. Well, that's what we got here. Northwest Biotech reports positive top-line results from phase 3 trial of DC Vaxel for glioblastoma.
Glioblastoma, it's a brain tumor.
Oh, well, see, and that's a cancer. Anytime you have a drug that works and comes out of phase 3, you should normally get a bounce. This came out, goodness gracious, that's what it bounced on. I mean, I
Yeah,
know
it was building up before this was released on the 17th. You can see it on the chart.
Yep, that's the 14th, 15th,
Yep.
16th, 17th.
And then they sold the news. Yep.
You may go back and see there might have been some inside buys here. Very well could be.
Probably.
And of course, because it's been low for so long, you had people take their profits. You know, you just got to expect that. If you've been flat for 4 months, these people were so hungry to get out, they dove at it right here. First bump, you had sellers. They were anxious just to take that and then kick themselves when they saw the news come out on the 17th. So that is great news right there.
It is. And Chris, I would say if you're interested in this one, since they have news out for glioblastoma, I would check more into that news for the phase 3 trial. Like, what are they trying to do? Because glioblastoma is one of the hardest to beat when it comes to brain tumors. So if they're having positive results, you know, actually diminishing tumors or going away or something like that, you're getting into something. It may take a while for the rest of the market to realize it.
Honestly, I would expect more to come from that chart because brain cancers aren't as easy to operate.
That's what I'm saying. Dig into that news.
Yeah, I would think that if something, I don't know, if there's more explanation come out or something.
I'm going to be looking at it.
When I first got into trading and started to diversify, one of my very first searches was phase 3 top line trials for top line results for phase 3 trials, because I knew those always ran. I did a study and it's like, good gracious, look at this one, look at this one. So I like the news. I don't like the share count. It's about $1 billion. Financials, I bet you they're not making any money. Oh, I'm wrong. Doggone it. So they're doing about $1 million a year. They're making enough to pay their bills and pay their employees. That's good. That means they're not going to have to come running to us for, you know, public offerings, diluting their shares. And anything else here? You do have a financial that came out for them just a couple of weeks ago. Lots of information will be in there. I mean, lots of information, more than you're going to get in any news press. Okay, I see we've got lots of them. I'm going to have to start moving here.
Yeah, I got Red Hot Dollars interested in more information about AITX and RSHN. We can do a brief one.
AITX, RushNet, I just covered here recently. Hopefully you got to watch my video. AITX works with robots. They work with security robots. They've got everything from just a regular platform that you type into that does scans at the gate. They've got these R2-D2 kind of bullet-shaped robots that move around in malls. They've got these four-wheeled ones. They've got ones that look like dogs.
And they've got ones that like door security and stuff like that too.
And they're all working with 5G. AI, they're communicating with each other. They're getting lots of orders from Fortune 500 companies who are trying them, buying them, liking them, buying more. So existing customers are expanding their purchases. What else? Oh, they just got 2 awards for their firearm detection scan and their Light My Way, which is another product that they've got. That's an app. It's like a keep in touch app during a crisis. So all your employees, your management, your first responders, everybody's on that app and can communicate with each other in real time during a crisis. So they've got a lot of products that are hot right now. It saves companies 30 to 80% not having to buy uniforms and flashlights and all the other stuff that comes with being human. So this company has got a lot going for it right now. I like this company. I personally am invested in this company. So I'm not just hyping it up because I'm invested. I do like it. But I don't like that. Share count sucks. 5.2 billion shares.
Wow.
That is screaming reverse split, folks. And I don't like that. When a company starts to make revenues, when they start to become successful, the first thing they want to do is move up to the NASDAQ. And they don't want to do it organically, waiting for us to push the price up with so many profiteers taking the profits every time it jumps. So they could easily do a reverse split by going up to the NASDAQ. I would be leery of that. Disclosures, anything over here? Their last financial was put out over a month ago, but it's still going to be viable information. Looking at their charts, AITX. This has been a disappointing one. She took a run here, but again, we're talking about market sentiment. Look, she has been flat.
Oh, yeah, very flat.
So that's just 20 days of people. 20 days. Any of these people could have easily sold after she took her run. Let's go back
Oh yeah.
4 hours. Wow. So she has been on a downtrend under the 200, under the 50, hit a low bubble here of 006 and hit a high just the other day of, we'll call it going from 6 to 18. That's a 300% difference right there. And you can see she is on a strong trend there. She's had a pullback sitting above her 200 with a lot of volume right now. And look at those technicals. Holy cow, the PPO went crazy. Let's come on down a little bit closer. Let's look at our 20-day, 1 hour view. Well, that was Flat City, getting over the 200. All looks good there. She's sitting on her 50, which is where she was for about a week. Let's look at our 5-day, 5-minute. That was a beautiful run. God, that was nice. She's come down, broke her 50 on the 5-minute, and is hovering over her 200. That's the way the week's been. I've been watching a lot of great stocks with good news, with good catalysts. They'll get a bump, but they're not holding their gains. And that's the problem with the market. It's like autumn. Well, yeah, like autumn. The leaves are falling off the trees. They're there to be taken, but if you don't take them, you're going to lose it. So, folks, even if you believe in a stock, you can always get back in down here.
That's right. That's right.
These stocks are running the first half of the day between 10, 12. That's it. That's it. Read your charts, watch for a couple bars to come down, and then take your profits. Wait for it to come all the way back down and pat yourself on the back for making a good decision, and then get back in with some of those profits. And then look for another stock because you got extra money now.
That's right. But with AITX, just looking at the chart really quick, I would like to see it hold 0.0098 if this run's going to continue, because we have had a pullback from it. And the most I would give it is 0.0090. It needs to hold that. If not, then let it breathe and give it time. What's that, John?
So basically, you want it not to go any further down.
Not any further than that. That's the range I want to see it, and because we were kind of consolidating right before that, so that should be a support area now. And if not, then you're going to have to just give it time to see, let it settle from this most recent run, and then you can take a position into. I mean, I've played AITX before. I'm not in this current one, but I have played it before, and it can be a nice mover, but it all depends on your market too and your market sentiment. What's happening? All right. What about RSHN?
RSHN. Okay. I can't remember all the details. Sometimes I have to dig deep and just find these unique details, and I share them with you in the video. But this is RushNet. RushNet was very hot during the COVID. They made 2 acquisitions with Helios DX, which makes testing kits and droplet cards to test for all sorts of ailments and diseases. And then they got Grandiza Healthcare, which is the laboratory that does all the testing on those test kits. Well, the big news for the longest time, I remember now. Thank God I remember the detail. They were spinning out Helios DX to the NASDAQ, which means anybody that owns RushNet is going to get free shares in that new company as a dividend. Well, their newest news was that they are going to roll up both companies together. You've got the test kits, you got the laboratory. It only makes sense to put the two together. So they're going to both be rolling out to the NASDAQ. However, they had a situation. Oh, man, I think I got to go over to Twitter to get this information. I can't remember.
Well, while you're pulling up Twitter, John, I don't know if I should share my screen real quick, but
all right, I'll pull this down. Go for it.
Share screen. Let me get my actual charts up because I don't want to waste y'all's time.
Yeah, you go ahead and
there we go. Okay, so looking at RSHN, this is for the last year, you guys. We are definitely in an uptrend, and that's unusual. So that's what caught my eye about this one. We started out at 0.0005, your triple fives, hitting at 0.0035 for the high here. And of course, it's sold back. I mean, that's too quick. When you see something move that much, that substantially, that quick, it's going to come back down. But it's holding this trend line. That is beautiful. So I really like that. Let me put a trend line just from the bottom wicks that we're seeing down here. The most really it's
same
right there. Almost. And this is kind of, I do my regression channel, but I also do this from the bottom of the wicks. This is kind of where I want to see it hold. And if it's not, then it makes me just kind of pause if I'm going to buy more, I want to see what it's going to do. And so that level right now is 0.0014 and the actual trend's 0.0016. So those are good areas for this one.
I would be looking for a bounce maybe the next week. And the reason I say that,
it's a nice area. Go ahead.
I found what I was looking for, and we have a countdown. The company gave us a countdown indirectly, but they did. This is off of their account at Twitter, Helios DX. This came out on the 17th. Mm-hmm. If you find yourself questioning our resolve to accomplish what we set out to do 19 months ago, consider this. It will cost $58,000 to complete this last request by FINRA in order to gain approval. 19 months comes down to 6 days and 1 revival. We accept. All right, this is what it is. You got a countdown there of 6 days and a revival. What the heck are they talking about? Well, up here they tell us, quick update on the 18th. Today we filed to revive RSHN in Nevada. Once it is revived, we will file simultaneously to dissolve and merge to Colorado properly. Council has spoken to FINRA and approval will follow. Then we'll begin our long anticipated next steps. They've got nothing else on the table. This spin out is all that's happening right now. There's no new deals. There's no forward split, reverse split. This is it. So they've given us a revival and 6-day countdown. Now they tell us up here, I think it was yesterday, they have filed everything. They have sent the $58,000 in. They have sent in the proper paperwork to the proper states, and they're just waiting for a return now. And then you've got your 6 days. Once the revival's done, 6 days. Well, 6 days. I don't know if it's 1 week or 2 weeks, but you better put your eyes on this because once that 6 days is up, something's going to happen. And the spin out is what it's all about. And the big deal about that are those free shares. You're not only going to be owning RushNet, but you're going to be owning HDX or whatever the ticker is going to be for Helios up on the NASDAQ. And this could be a big company. We may be out of COVID, but we're not out of danger. We're always going to want to be on top of our game from now on. We were behind. We were not ready for COVID. Hopefully that's not going to happen to us again. And what we'll have laboratories and these testing places in place. And this could be one of those companies that is taking the lead.
Well, I do like what the chart says. That's what I like, the uptrend. But I will say this news that they're talking about, follow their Twitter. Keep an eye on that, like John was showing you. But this news they're talking about, I totally, just like we do with all the other stocks, I look for them to sell the news. It's very possible. So just be aware of that and be willing to take your gains or have a plan for that trade.
Oh, boy, I think I'm falling behind here. That's good.
It's okay. We're going to give them back my 10 minutes that I gave them. So hold on. I got another one for you. We got Tony. All right.
Hi,
so Tony, what is your opinion on the Tetra Biopharmaceuticals as of today? If you're familiar with them.
Tetra Biopharma. Tetra Biopharma had news come out today, but it's not the kind of news that we were hoping for. But Tetra hasn't had a whole lot of news in a long time, and that's been the problem. TBPMF. I've been holding Tetra for a very long time. I got in when they did their Reborn 1 trial here in America. It was supposed to be a 10-week trial. It was just a binary trial. Try morphine. How does that make you feel? Cancer 4, stage 4 patient. Now, tomorrow, try our drug. You inhale our CBD, THC, terpene drug, and it should take care of your pain in less than 3 minutes, where morphine takes up to 45 minutes or longer to get into their system. By the time it hits them, it's too late. They've already gone through all their pain. Well, it didn't work. And it went on and on and on. So they've taken the Reborn trial over to Australia, where they are what's the word I'm looking for? A socialist nation. They pay for medication over there. They want cheap medication. This is going to be cheap compared to morphine. These opiates are making trillions of dollars in this country. And for all the problems they cause, the people that make them don't want to stop making them. And there's lobbyists that just make sure they keep making them. So you've got that going on. Well, today they got an award for being the most, what did they call it? No, not there.
I don't know, John.
Well, they got an award today for having the most advanced cannabis medical drug on the market by MedTech, if MedTech means anything to you. And that drew everybody's attention to this. Now, the problem with TBPMF, they've got great drugs. They've got one for SARS. They've got one for eye ulcers, not only people, but animals. They've got painkillers that you're going to be able to buy at the dispensary right over the counter, or you can get it from your pharmacist if cannabis isn't legal in your state. They've got some other things too. And all these drugs are made with only 3 ingredients: THC, CBDs, and terpenes. Terpenes are actually what give us aroma and fragrance in our beers and stuff like that. But they've discovered they're arrows. They can actually use these terpenes to pinpoint where these CBDs and THC go in a perfect amount that's measured specifically. And it works. It does work. My problem with the company right now is the broker. As we were discussing earlier, brokers have a lot of control on the OTC markets, and I am really upset. I keep looking at my charts over here. I want to strangle it because we've been watching TBPMF, and it jumped today. It had a huge jump for TBPMF. The brokers, let's say the price is 3 cents. It'll say that you can buy it at 2.7 cents, even though the price is 3 cents. So you go and you buy it for 2.7 cents. After you buy it, the price drops to 2.4. It does that over and over again. The bid and the ask is always lower than the price. And after you buy it at the ask, and we've tried to push the price up. Me and my brother-in-law are always playing with this stock, and we cannot push the price up. They won't let it go up. Just won't. Strange. We have tried everything in over a year. We have called the brokers. We have called the company. We can't get any hang on this. So I like what the company's doing. They're taking too long. It's not about them. And the problem is that while they're in this limbo and they've got everything set up, they've got to deal with Tilray to supply them with cannabis.
Nice.
They've got to deal with Avicana to distribute. They got to deal with a company over in Malta. So it's not like they aren't ready to run. They just can't get out of the gate because nobody's approving it. Now here recently, Reduvo was approved. I thought it was a done deal already in Canada, but they've got a problem with the label. And that's what the news was just a little while ago, that they had finally been talked to by Health Canada since May. They finally got back in touch with them here in November and said, we got another question about that label. So they're going to respond to that, and we don't know how long that's going to take either. And Reduvo is for nausea, and anybody can use it. Pregnant women can use it. Drunks can use it. It's safe all the way around. Can't get addicted to any of it, which is why everybody really likes this. Let's take a quick look at TBPMF.
All right.
All right. I've been in this for over a year. And I got in way back at 29 cents originally. A year ago, we were at 19 cents. She has been steady falling. We haven't even reached our 200-day SMA. Last time we looked at it was back here on October 24th. Maybe they had a bit of news come out. Today, let's just jump on into that 5-day, 15-minute. So she has actually been climbing, which has been blowing me and my brother-in-law's mind. She's actually been coming off the floor because she's just been dribbling down all the time. And the worst part is we see people buying at higher prices and the price keeps falling. It's more than aggravating. So we have had a run here and she is holding the gains. Goodness gracious, with everybody who's lost money in this company, I'd have thought it'd be right back to the floor. 200-day SMA has just come into the picture. Our 200-day haul is just coming into the picture. That's a lot like your 200-day SMA, but it takes more credence on current prices, so the line is usually closer to the price. Technicals don't look like she wants to continue climbing. I'd be surprised if she did. The charts are a mess. The stock has been increasing its float. When I got in, it was 60 million. I think they're up to about 500 or 600 million right now, something like that.
Yeah.
And that's because they got to pay to stay in business. They've got to get money from somewhere. And if they can't get it from selling a product, which is why getting at least Reduvo out there, that'll start making them some money. They've got to keep selling more shares to either us on the public market or to their private investors, somebody who wants to invest big money. So she's in a quagmire right now. She has my faith, but she's also got my money and a lot of loss right now. So that's what I think of TBPMF.
So we have Red Hot Dollars is asking again about GBTC, saying that Kathy Wood made a purchase of 175K shares, I think today, maybe not. But do you know anything about this company? It's up 9% today. So I'm going to share real quick, John, because I already went ahead and looked at the chart while you were talking.
Good. Yep.
So I'm going to share. Hold on.
Oh, GBTC, Grayscale Bitcoin. Is that really what she wants to look at?
That's it. Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. So here's the thing.
That's not a penny stock, is it?
This is actually on the OTC. So
yeah.
It did go up to $58. Right. Yeah. So this is a 3-year chart, weekly 3-year chart. I just kind of wanted to get a feel for the chart and what it's looking like. What's Kathy Wood looking at? What she's seeing. Don't know anything about the company. Obviously, there's something going on with Bitcoin or something like that. Okay, so maybe crypto stuff. But the chart, I went ahead and drew a line right here. This is where you would find support and some resistance. And if you'll look, let's go to a 20-day, 1 hour. Look where it bounced, you guys. 746. Right on that line that I was drawing. And it's a few days ago, so let's take the 5-day. See? Right there. Beautiful. Yep. A lot of people jumped in right here and bought back in. Now, 746 is not, your pennies. So obviously this company is a little bit bigger than what we usually look at on the OTC, which is fine. I mean, you have Adidas, Nintendo, not Nickelodeon, but Nintendo, all that stuff's on the OTC. So the last 180 days, you see it's had a major drop from this is 6 months right here, from $33 down to $7. And because of what we see on the 3-year, I like this in this area. This is nice
it's fallen
spot.
because Bitcoin has fallen. Anything associated with Bitcoin is riding the same hill.
So I recommend to check into the company. What is this? What is GBTC? What do they do? What are their financials looking like? Check into that. This is a great area. We're already back up at $9.22.
Bitcoin is, it's a way of getting a hold of Bitcoin assets without getting into cryptocurrency.
Gotcha.
This company deals with the crypto and you deal with the stock. So you get the benefits of Bitcoin going up by being in this company rather than being in Bitcoin itself. Someone else is taking the risk on the crypto.
Perfect. And that's the thing, you move from there and it's on an uptrend. It may cool off a little bit. Now that Kathy's bought in, it may not, may hold up a little bit better. So you can just start dollar cost averaging here if you like it in this range. Be willing to add if it comes back down, but this is not a bad area for this. So I would definitely dig deeper on this one. John, what was the next one? Was it SNMP? I'll go ahead and pull it up.
Yeah, it was SNMP.
All right, look at that. Got that memory going on just for a quick 10 minutes. But
you're younger than me. Of course, yours works.
Oh, don't even. So let's look at the last year on SNMP, which is Evolved Transition Infrastructure. I'm not familiar with this one. And it doesn't look like it's on the OTC. I think this is a NASDAQ stock.
No, it's on the New York Stock Exchange.
Perfect. Okay. So the last year from our low right there, which is around 30 cents, we're way under that. And you see the line that goes across right there. Matter of fact, I can put another one right here. See, bounce, all this bouncing, and then finally it gave it up. And now we're down here to 15 and 17 cents. So I don't particularly like this one. I don't know what's happening with this one. Last 5 days, we've dropped from 23 down to 15. It seems like your buyers have stepped in here. You can see by the volume here, the buyers are stepping in. Your oscillators are they're separating, but it's coming back up. But will it hold? I don't know. Is this just a quick little dead cat bounce? Don't know. Keep an eye on it. But something
today.
What's that?
Did you get a bounce today?
Me?
On that chart, is there a bounce? I can't see.
Yeah. Can you not see my chart?
Well, because I'm looking at something else. Everybody else can see it. I can't.
Just want to make sure I'm sharing. Okay, yeah, this is the last 5 days. There is a bounce today. Yes.
We had a Form 4 come out today. An insider, 10% owner, bought 27 million shares.
Okay.
So
there you go. That's what's got it moving right now.
Yeah. If an insider buys that much, we don't know something, but he does. He ain't buying that for no good reason. He's buying because he knows something we don't. And that's why we like our Form 4s. They'll tell you what insiders are selling and buying.
Perfect. So, yeah, they're playing that. But, you're also under that dollar range. You're on the NASDAQ. So realize the risk in this area. And if you want to trade it, keep an eye on it, see if it's going to hold up and make a quick trade off of it. I just don't like it in these areas. But follow that news that John was just talking about. There may be something there we don't know about.
Let's take a
What's
quick
next, John? I'll pull it up. What's next?
Hold on. Before you do that, I did want to give them their fair shot here at share structure. It's going to be under 173 million. So that's not a bad float. They're making money because they're on the New York Stock Exchange. They did 51 million at the end of last year and got to keep 42 million. So everything's going on there. And like I said, you got a Form 4 here, a couple of other forms, and then you got your 10Q, which just came out a week ago. You want some information, jump into those 10Qs, folks. It's good. All right. You said you got another one for us. COSM, is it? COMS?
Was that the next one they were asking about? Because I was just going to go ahead and pull it up.
I think it was COMS.
COMS?
Well, it's funny because both COMS and COSM are both been running this last week. So if you get your tickers confused and you put in the wrong one, doesn't matter. They're both doing good.
Well, I got comms up, COMS, and
yeah,
massive run.
News. I think this is the company.
Yeah.
This that food company, doggone it. Let me see if I got it up here.
Sovereign Holdings, it looks like.
Yeah. The news keeps going away right there. They Sovereign receives delinquency. They're late on the NASDAQ. Let's see here if they got a date. But they have to file. I can't see what they're late for, but I had another piece of news. I thought they just made a deal here. There it is. This is the news that came out 2 days ago. This company sells a lot of different stuff. They've got different subsidiaries. Let's see if I got that down here.
Man, it's been beat down. Woo.
It says up here that they are selling their Sky Premium Life luxury food supplement brand on Rhonda, which is an official in-flight magazine on Iberia, which is owned by British Airways. And this is a digital magazine that reaches 10 million passengers that use that airline. And this is just one of their subsidiaries. They've got quite a few of them that are all selling different sort of products. I thought I had this all set up to show you here.
Well, it's just like the volume for the day. Look at it. It's beautiful. It was huge volume today. But, I mean, they did sell off a lot, too. But I have a regression channel right here. Y'all look where it bounced. Perfect.
Okay, so what were you looking at? A yearly chart?
First, I looked at the yearly chart, and it really got beat to death on comp.
Yeah, she's got a lot of volume that's coming in.
Yep, the last 5 days, 5 minutes, I did a regression channel, and it's just bouncing on it beautifully. So if it's going to hold up in this area, which is around the 0.078 area, wants to hold up that and keep climbing, you might see some more on this one, depending on news. When I'm telling y'all this, I know nothing about the news except for what John's saying.
So Lily has picked a point right where our 20-day SMA is there at that 0.07879 region. Our technicals are pulling back right now. As you can see, when you have a huge jump like that, folks, you have to expect it to come down. You just do. Yep. We've been in a down market and everybody wants money as fast as they can get it. But look how far she's lifted that 200-day SMA.
Oh, yeah.
The SMA is way up there now. That should help the price to stay up. Our technicals look like they're in the midst of recovery right now. They did take a huge drop, but we're coming back up right here on our PPO. Our MACD just had the crossover. RSI is real tepid right now. She's starting her consolidation. Hopefully she stays right on that support line, right at that 0.078 up to 0.8, just stays there, and then hopefully starts to push up. It wouldn't hurt for a little more news to come, but let me see. The company has had 2 days of good runs, and let's see if we go back 20 days, wasn't there? So she did have some pops back here. You got a couple of days. It's like every 5 or 6 days she has a bounce. So maybe come back 5, 6 days from now, maybe she'll have a bounce. And then the other one I was telling you about, which I don't know a whole lot about, is ticker COSM. It's doing the same thing. It's had a push up off of the 200 in these last few days. It's ran up real hard, and then it's pulled back and it's sitting here on its 50-day SMA. Technicals looking the same way, that she had a strong day and then it just gave it all away. The only thing turning, believe it or not, is our RSI. Looks like it's starting to turn around on the 1 hour chart. But
I will
I don't
say,
know a lot about this one. I just brought
I
it up.
don't either. It's had a nice run, but I will say it is under on a regression channel. It is under that. So I would be patient with this one, see if it's going to build back up, see if the volume's still going to be there, see if it's going to hold the low that it's made recently, to see if it's going to continue. I don't like this one as much as I like the one we just looked at with comms.
We do have the prices getting back on top of our 9-day. That's step number one. Don't expect any growth until you get on top of there. We do have a small separation going on with our PPO and ADX. There is a little gradual, and that's how it all starts, just a little until it opens up. So if you're using these oscillators, keep up with those. They may tell you a little more than what we see. All right, you got another one there for me.
Yeah, STGZ. Jimmy Jean would like to know if we have any thoughts on ticker STGZ.
STGZ.
Yep.
Hello, Jimmy Jean. I love your sausage. Oh, that's not you.
That's Jimmy Dean.
James Dean. All right. Let's go back a year. Let's see what we've got going here. Oh, I've been looking at this for a long time. Those lines are going all the way back 3 years. So when did I look at this last? I looked at it just over a year ago. October.
When you played that big run right there.
Yeah, that was a humongous run. She was absolutely doing nothing. She was down here at 007 and went to what? 50 cents. What? No, that can't be 007. It sure
I mean,
is.
it's possible.
Oh,
we had a bunch of them like that, John.
I can't even calculate that off
That's a lot. I can say it's thousands of percent. It's a lot.
Yeah, I think it's something like 70,000% gains.
That's a lot.
It could be 700. I don't know. It's a lot.
It's a lot.
So she's had some huge excitement here. And I got to imagine she's got to have a decent float. But that's on the weekly, folks. Those are 1 week bars that you're looking at there. So don't think she tears it up in an hour. Speaking of an hour, let's see what she does look like. Well, she's been just trying to get back to her 200, working very slowly up to it. And she has broke it. And now she's starting to consolidate again. Volume looks like she's picking up. That is on the hourly chart. Let's see if it's actually... No, the volume has pretty much been popcorn off and on. She is getting above the 200, and she's been fighting that for about 3 months. Hasn't had a whole lot of luck getting over it. And today she's done it, and she's holding it. We've got our 9-day over the 200-day as well. And all of your technicals right now are pushing up. We are just under the overbought on the RSI, and everything else is looking right. In my ADX, right here, she was falling. Now she's going up. If I take a timeline and throw that in there, you should be able to see that easy enough. Come on down. You can see the direction changed. So if this was falling, once that direction changed, it means it's climbing. Well, that's what it's doing. It's climbing. It's not about if this is going up or down. Just is it not changing direction? And it doesn't show any hints of changing direction. So that means our uptrend is continuing on the 4-hour chart. 5 minute. Oh, that's nice. She's hanging around her 50 up there. And the 9-day is turning around. Our PPO is turning around. Our MEC, it looks like it's about ready to recover and go on, folks. That's what it looks like.
Yeah, I'd be watching for that.
Let's go see what we've got over here. STGZ. Come on now. All right, let's take a look at our share structure. Oh, I think that's one of the better share structures we've seen all day. About 60 million in the float. That's not bad. We are on the OTC Pink. They say she's a shell risk, meaning she's in business, but she's not making any money. What does this company do? They are a subscription-based entertainment company focused on creation, production, and distribution of original licensed media content of music, film, and television. And that's presuming they haven't changed directions. A lot of times when you see shell risk, it's because they stopped making money because they're starting something new. And there's a bald spot right there in the middle. Let's see if they've got any news to give us a heads up. That's from September. Another reduction of its outstanding shares. Well, that's good. Yeah. Don't see any news here. What do we got for disclosures? Last quarterly report was about a month ago, and we've got nothing else going on here. So Since it's our
Interesting.
last stock, I'm going to go over here and throw this into Twitter. There are hundreds, if not thousands, of people doing research for us, and they like to share. Stargaze does not play around. Let's see, Stargaze at the bottom. Stargaze. Oh, nobody showed you this weekly yet? Okay. This is what Twitter's good for, folks. You want to learn technicals? Twitter loves to talk about their technicals. They'll find it when there's nothing else to talk about in the stock, dead on the ground. They'll come along and say, nope, I seen a twitch right here. Somebody bought a block of 100,000. Look at this dump. So they're really eyeballing this. I don't see any. What's this? 7 hours ago, Stargaze. Break big news on merger coming next week.
So maybe it's building up for that.
Okay, I don't know where this is at. It wasn't over there at the OTC markets. Maybe it's in an article on Google somewhere. So it is hiding out there. That's why I like to come over here. I don't consider this information gospel, but it is good leads.
But it can give you a lead to go find it.
Right. So now I know what to at least be looking for. Yeah. So looks like they've got some sort of merger coming up here in the next week. So the technicals on the chart look like she wants to go. We want a catalyst to give her some nitro boost to really push her. Looks like that's about ready to be thrown on the table. So I would keep my eyes on STGZ. I'd actually be doing some more DD. Find out if the merger is worth what they're talking about. You could catch yourself a nice jump. Remember, gains aren't sticking around very long. So don't get greedy. Before noon, consider, should I get out of this stock? Is it going to fall in the afternoon like every other stock is doing? Maybe. Read your technicals, not just your bars. Some people read their bars. I'm still leaning on my technicals. So follow them both. You got anything to add?
And market sentiment. John, we have so many comments and questions. I hate not to at least touch on them. We're not going to go over any more charts, you guys. So sorry we didn't make it to all of them. But Jimmy Jean, the one we just checked, they did thank you for LTMAY, up 25% on that. So very good. Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, Latmay is still in the same boat. I am surprised. I'm going to be honest. I took some profits out of that one because I expected her to start doing her downfall. It isn't. Now, I haven't checked the price of chili. Is it more than 5.2 pesos, which is 0.006 cents? Yeah, that's what chili's price is on this stock. Ugh. So I'm surprised to see she's holding up like that. That's impressive.
And we have another one for Jimmy Jean, ticker VIHDD, doing a 2-for-1 forward split. Is it good buy before the split? Without looking at the chart, I can't tell you. I will say forward splits usually give you more shares. So if you have one, you'll get two. So you have to look at it and you analyze, go back to the 3-year, go back to the 1 year. Where's it sitting right now? Do you like that price? Because once it's split, just go ahead and divide it by 2. And that's what your price will be after the split. I'm not against.
Price will go down. Your share count goes up. The price comes down. But it should be the same price.
Should be. But I'm not against getting in before the split. I just kind of want you to make a plan of how many shares would you like to have. So maybe buy a little bit before and then be willing to buy more after just in case it does go down a little bit. So what kind of plan do you have?
Obviously, you want to know why they're doing the forward split. There's going to be something out there. Are they doing a merger right now? Is it part of a deal that they need those shares to give to somebody else? Now, I like forward splits. Forward splits are a lot better than a reverse split. Absolutely. You end up with more shares. And here's one of the things, folks. Let's say a stock is at a nickel and they do a reverse split and they kick it up to 25 cents by doing a 1-in-5 reverse split. So it goes up 5 times. Well, in everybody's mind, they're still seeing this as a nickel stock. And that's what happens. It comes back down closer to a nickel than it's 25 cents. Well, it works in reverse as well. If it's a nickel and they bring the price down to 2.5 cents, we're thinking of it as a nickel. And a lot of investors will push that price closer to the nickel than the 2.5 cents. And all those extra shares are starting to add up for you really fast. Wow. Now we covered another. Now I see this has a D in it, VIHDD. So that means they're probably in the midst of it right now, I'm guessing, which means it's too late to get in if you want that forward split. the X date would have already occurred. They'd have given us a cutoff date. You have to own them by this date.
Yes.
It's going to happen on that date. So
Yes.
if that's why the D is there, D at the end of a ticker means they're going through some sort of administrative change. Ticker, names, share structure, something.
I will say if it has been on an up run, though, any forward split, if it's running up, being pushed, going to that split, you might want to wait. If you weren't
I know I'm
going
to go look at it now.
Yeah, we're going to look at it. But you might want to wait. You got some time. Because they'll sell that just like they will anything else. They'll sell it. They're looking to make gains. Everybody is. So you might have some time there. Also, Jeff was saying, got COSM at 17. It went to 66 cents today. It's now at 28 after hours. Should I be scared? Yes, you should. I mean, I'm just going to say, the thing is, if you got it at 16, what you got before the run, when it pushes up that much in a day, that fast, you have to be willing to take profits. I don't care if you just take half. Take half at least.
Yeah.
So now you feel a bit more secure in playing.
I know it's hard. I had a hard time doing it. Most day traders don't like to scale out. Sell something on your way up. Put some money in your pocket. You know, when I go to a casino, I put in a $20 bill into a slot machine. As soon as it makes $30, I cash out. Put that receipt in my pocket. Then I put another $20 bill in. I know I got my 30 bucks in my pocket. You've got to get in the habit of pulling money out when you see it. You can always get back in, but you can't always get out. You can't always get out. So get out when you can. Get used to taking little profits. See how you feel. You may get addicted to it and change your whole game.
Especially in this market, if something moves that fast, you have to be willing to scale out or take some profits. Maybe 50%, sell that, 70%. And then you can always rebuy back in when it calms down if you think it's going to continue. So just look at those kind of plans. What I would do with this at 28 cents, and you did not sell, I'm assuming you did not sell anything, have a stop. You know, don't give back your gains because you still have gains at this point. Don't allow that to happen. Not to you. You can always buy back in. It's okay, even if you just break even, but don't lose.
All right.
In hopes that it's going to go back.
Last comments are all from T. Rick. T. Rick has got to be one of my
There's so many.
He is one of my most active supporters, not only active. I mean, T. Rick, I thank you, my friend. You share so much information with me.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
There you go.
Yeah. See, you don't have to hear me now. He supports me, shares a lot of information with me, brings a lot of good information. There's a lot of good back and forth with T. Rick.
It's appreciated.
I appreciate it. He wants to know, and I'd like to get your opinion too, Lily. This will be the last thing we touch on to here. What do you think are going to be the hot sectors for the rest of the year? What? We got 1 month.
Well, there's not much. I mean, we might have some retail movement just because of the whole Christmas thing, what do they call it? The Santa rally. So you might have a Santa rally.
Right.
Yep. It's a Santa rally. So you might be looking at some retail things doing something. Really, I don't think anything's going to be really great until the end of the year. I don't think anything's going to be really great for the first 6 months of 2023. So you're going to have to be willing to take some gains and just wait for this market to reevaluate.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to see sectors moving.
No, but if I had to pick a sector, and I'm kind of leaning with Kathy on this, there are some biotech sectors that, you know, I think might have some good opportunities, just like the one we just looked at.
I agree.
The GPTC, or that was a great thing. But there are some biotechs that came down to really reasonable prices that might have
biotechs, the healthcare industry. The healthcare is not just biotechs, healthcare. There are all sorts of healthcares, and people have become very self-conscious now about healthcare since COVID. It's not just the COVID that hit us. We had SARS hit us. We had all sorts of things coming up. And then we started hearing of other things that were starting to
monkeypox. I mean,
right, monkeypox. So yeah, we're very health conscious. I think the health sector is going to be a big one, and that's hard.
I like
for
that
me.
one.
The health sector is a hard one to do DD on because the information is so far over my head that if they don't simplify it, I'm missing it.
So I'll be looking for really good companies that are at value right now, bigger companies. I'm not talking about little penny stocks or speculative stuff. Look for stuff that's good to get into, that's going to have future growth. I would like that one. I like anything in food, that especially if it's at a good price level. I like stuff in food because we're in a difficult area right now, you guys. they might not say recession. Maybe they are saying it now by now, but we're in a recession. We've been in a recession.
Yeah, we are.
Our inflation is way too high, and your normal common households are going to struggle. So look at foods, commodities, stuff like that. Find something, look at the longevities of those charts, find something that's at some value right now, not something that's way up. You're just going to have to wait if it's already way up there, okay? Just be patient, but find those good value ones and do some research.
What markets I think are probably going to be down, in my opinion, I think our cryptos are going to be down. I think our NFTs are going to be down. Virtual properties are going to be down. I think they'll come back.
They'll have their day.
But right now, with all the inflation and all the financial burdens, most of us, not just individuals, but businesses are carrying right now, I don't think that those things are on our agenda as important. Food is important. Energy is going to be a big sector. If I had to pick one, I'd say energy, green energy, your solar, your hydrogen, your electric, all of that stuff.
These are future things. Absolutely. Absolutely. So T-Rick did say again, so biotechs are good, especially those in phase 3. Learned that one today from Jay-Z and his diversity search for his investments list. Yes, it is. But I will also say, even though our tech sector has been taking a smashing big hit, Amazon, Google, they're all kind of down. They're making newer lows here recently. Those are they're going to be just fine. So you need to start to look at those too, because everybody's like, oh no, it's trash, I'm selling it, blah, 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 blah. It's going to come back, you guys.
Well, those are buying opportunities.
Yeah. Find some tech sectors that are really good, because tech will take back off, and it'll be nice to dollar cost average into those plays and have some long-term holds in that whenever
tech is going to take off, because we can't live without our gadgets.
It'll be fine.
We love our gadgets.
It'll be fine. So look at your Google, your Amazon, see what those prices are. Do some DCA, which is dollar cost average. Do it once a quarter. Do it once a month, whatever you choose. But we've got some really good, value right now. I really think it is. I think I saw it hit in the 80s the other day. So
yeah, I got to be honest. I'm a penny stock trader, but the prices of Google, Amazon, these companies are so low. I don't have the money to be buying 100 shares or 1,000 shares of Google, but I can buy 2, 3, 4, 5 shares. And when these stocks are so undervalued right now, and inflation has brought everything down, just look at, as you said, look at the 3-year chart. Where do you think this is going to go back to when life gets back to normal?
Look at it and dollar cost average.
They're definitely long holds. I mean, you could hang on to them until they go up $50, but I think they're going to go. I think Google will go more than $50 in 3 years. That's my opinion.
Yeah, it'll be fine. But that's the thing. Whenever Tesla did its thing, y'all, I couldn't afford it. I could not afford Tesla. I think I bought 1 share, and then I bought 1 after the split. And now today I have 18 shares. So even if you can only buy 1 or 2, that's okay. They grow for you. So I have 18 shares. My average is phenomenal. So let it ride. But you kind of plan for it that way. Wow. Anyway. They'll grow for you guys. I know. And we love you guys. We hope you have a happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy time with your families. Break away from this market for a little while in the crazy, and just enjoy being with family. Okay. John had a turkey. Nice. So thank y'all so much for joining us early on a Wednesday. We'll see you next Thursday.
Bye, folks. Don't forget Home Alone.